Hey everybody, it's George Wooden again from BW Unlimited Charity Fundraising, your charity fundraising one-stop shop in a convenient setting. Check out our website at, everybody with me, www.bwunlimited.com, bwunlimited.com. That's right, doing a little lighting, playing with the lighting. So, in fact, if it reflects off my beautiful bald head, let me know. All right, so today this is probably going to be a little controversial, but it is, I'm getting take a shadow off this Tom Accord. That's for you. It's probably going to be a little controversial, but over this last week, to be honest with you, I've had some really crazy things happen to me and said to me. So I'm going to answer those questions. Okay. So 3 things. I'm looking down at my notes. I've got notes in front of me, so here they are. All right. So 3 or 4 things. Actually, 4 things happened to me. One thing was a pile up, but 4 things happened to me. So I went down to meet with a charity, and as I was walking out, we're helping them plan their event, and a very prestigious event, but small in attendance from what I consider, because most of our events are 600, 800 people. They'll probably have 300, but it's a very high-end, prestigious event at a very high-end place. So, walking out of that meeting, I happened to talk to one of their volunteers or one of their staff members, and he didn't take me very well. I honestly, listen, I know I'm a very direct guy. I was a state trooper, the whole thing. He didn't take me very well. So we kind of had words, and I kind of had to say, he was questioning me on everything. And he sent me an email the following, and I walked out of there thinking, what was that all about? Why did he attack me? He was asking me line action items. What are the action items? And I thought, you're making too much out of this. So in reality, this charity is making a lot out of a little, right? It's a small event, in my opinion, even though the tickets are very, very, very expensive. They're making a lot out of a little. There's a lot of companies out there that also prey on charities and make them think they need the world when in reality they don't. So the next morning, it bothered me because, I'm trying to be not as abrasive and all this other stuff, I'm a state trooper for 20 years. What do you expect in a Marine, 6'5"? So, and he was basically telling me I didn't know what the hell I was doing. So, but I didn't argue with him. I was very professional. So the next morning I get an email from him, and it actually surprised me. And in his email, this is what he said. He said, after you left here, I went home and I could barely sleep. And the question I had was, he said this, who the hell is this asshole? Who the hell is this asshole to tell me what to do? To tell me. And then he went online and found the website, found a whole bunch of other stuff, and then sent me that email telling me that he thought I was an asshole, which it's okay, I am. And he and I can be. Just ask my wife. See. And then he found out everything about me, and he apologized, and he said I saw your videos and I saw everything. That's the guy that I can get behind. Okay. So I'm going to answer the question to you. Answer the question. Who is this asshole? Who am I? Let me tell you. I've spent 25 years doing fundraising. 25 years. The first 15 of those years were in volunteer. I was a volunteer. I was you. I was on the other side of it. So I know what it takes. I know everything that it takes to pull off an event. I was a volunteer. I wasn't even a paid employee. I was a volunteer. But I got very good at fundraising and nationally known for fundraising by the organizations I was a part of. I took a small unknown group in Maryland raising money for an animal that didn't exist here and made it the largest fundraiser for that group in North America in its history. Then as a volunteer. And then I started helping other chapters do the same thing. They flew me out of state, out to Montana, the whole thing. Then I started with another charity. First event out the box as a volunteer was the largest event in their history since 1933. Scott Berg can attest to that. The largest event ever that they ever had. I knew how to fundraise. Then, about 10 years ago, my wife and I decided to take it on the road and open up a business doing this. So for 10 years, 7 days a week, this is the truth, with that shadow across my face, 7 days a week, all I do is live, eat, and breathe fundraising. I study it. I study fundraising, study the national trends, what's going on, how this person is. I know most of the auctioneers across the United States. I look at their stuff. I'm constantly reading up on it. And then we work with over 1,400 charities a year. I'm always talking to them, constant emails, constant this. How can we improve? That's all we do. In events, we do a lot of events, and in those events, back to back, I'm learning mistakes. So I'm learning what works and what doesn't work, how people respond, how they act, what the successful events, how they're made, what they're about, ingress and egress, how to set up a room so people move through it. That's who I am. Look, you could say I'm the doctor of fundraising, but I'm more like the paramedic. I'm not a doctor. I'm more like the paramedic of fundraising. Man, I'm telling you. You want to talk about fundraising? Ask my wife or ask my sister or ask my friends. I could sit for hours and talk about fundraising. Now, so that's who I am. Everything there is to know about fundraising, believe me, when it comes to event fundraising, galas, charity auctions, things like that, that's what I do. I'm friends with some really great auctioneers, Renee Jones being one of them, John Nichols, Sarah Adams, a lot of, Shelley St. John out in Denver, a lot of really great auctioneers who are all my friends, and we talk all the time. So, right. Okay. Then, at the same time, I'm also talking to other people who are in my industry and what's working, what's not working, what's selling, what people like, what they don't like. You name it, I'm constantly improving. We're always adding to our website, adding to our stuff. For instance, like this bronze back here, we just added these bronzes to our. Let me show you just how big this bronze is. And this is a small one. It's like 30 pounds. This bronze. This is one of our new items. It's for you guys. It's for charities. This is going out to Protection for Paul's event. I mean, it weighs a ton. Solid bronze. So, that's who I am. Right? That's who I am. So the next thing was I started talking to a charity, and I'm not going to name names. I started talking to another charity, and they evidently, while talking to them, I found out that they weren't very successful at fundraising. There was very little money in the bank. But somebody from their board or whatever reached out to somebody else who's in their local area, and this person or company or whoever evidently is one of my biggest fans, watches everything we do. Thank you for being a fan. I want to thank you. And commented to this charity who doesn't fundraise, who has a very hard time fundraising, and I'm reading it from my notes, that all of our events are cookie cutter. That is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my life. All of our events are cookie cutter. Okay, now let's talk about this. How can we do a cookie cutter event? Right? Okay, yeah, what I'll tell you is every one of our events has a live auction. Every one of them has a silent auction. And a lot of them have raffles. And we do a fund and eat or a paddle raise. Yep, they're cookie cutter, all right. But we're talking about different places, different people, different charity, different mission, different stuff, you name it. Everything is completely different. The food's different. Caterers are different. Everything's different. Different places in the United States like different things. Give me a break, right? So, and they also like to say, oh, they do all the easy stuff. You got to do all the hard stuff. Sell tickets, get sponsors. Well, do you know how to get sponsors? Do you know how to sell tickets? We teach you. We teach you how to get sponsors. Ask all my clients. In fact, clients, comment below. We teach you how to get sponsors. We teach you how to get tickets. We teach you how to market. We do all the stuff you don't know how to do. You don't know how to do it. And to the charity, I hope you're watching, to the charity who this other person is speaking to, if they are so good, I can't sell tickets in your area. I don't know your people. They're not going to buy tickets from me. I can't sell your tickets and get you sponsors. And if a company or anybody's telling you that, they're full of shit. Put your money where your mouth is. And if you can, then you're little and tiny and you're a fan. And I'd like you to thank you for being a fan of mine. Because, listen, you cannot, if you're a company like mine, nationally recognized charity fundraiser, you cannot go get sponsors. You can help teach your people how to get sponsors. And that charity, if you're watching, we will teach you how to get sponsors and how to sell tickets. Yes, and get donations. Do you know how to do that? You think you do, but have you had any luck in the past? Nope. So it is what it is, what it is, what it is. Now, next thing that happened, which is going to lead into another thing. We were talking to a charity some time ago, and me having a big mouth that I have, I sat down and started talking to them because I really want to help them because their mission is beautiful. It's a wonderful mission. And I was telling them what I do, what we do, and telling them some of the things that we do inside of our events. Well, what they did was they then went out and tried to do what we do, thinking they understood it. The problem is this: if you try to, and this has happened before. Look, we've done events where people come in with video. I mean, in the old days with video recorders, have videoed our entire silent auction, all of our raffles, all of our live auction, have wrote everything down, everything we do, and they try to go duplicate it. The problem is this: 25 years of education. Do you know why we're doing it? Do you understand why that's happening? Why that's there? Why it's placed there in the room? Why is it there? Do you understand why I do what I do? How I market? Do you understand what's behind it? I mean, anybody, literally anybody, can go out and throw stuff on a table. Anybody can do that. But the difference is, are you educated? Do you know why? That's the difference. And to my auctioneer friends, anybody can go out and act like an auctioneer, right? But are you educated? Do you know how to sell? Do you know how to play the crowd? No. That's why NAA pros like Renee Jones, Shelley St. John, Jeff Manning, all these great folks out there, John Nichols, you name it, all these great folks out there are so good because they're pros, they're professionals like I am, right? So it's about what's behind it, not what's in your face. Now, so if you try to copy us, have at it, but don't come back and ask us to help you after you failed because you didn't understand the reality of it, and then we got to fix it. So you're better off doing something on your own and then let us do what we do because we understand why. It's a whole strategy. Okay, last and final thing. This is the example of this. And maybe the person I know, he's watching. He's going to watch this. There was a charity that we helped. Now, 50% of the charity was all in. The other half were fighting us tooth and nail. So all the way up to the day event, it was a fight to do the event. So we finally did the event. Now, a small crowd of the charity complained so much. They said, we don't want to pay this guy. We're going to do it on our own. We're going to do it on our own. Ready for this? Failure. Absolute failure. Extreme failure. If you have no idea how many moving parts there are to an event that we do. Not only pre-event, there's so much planning that goes into it. In the event, 1,000 spinning plates, 1,000 things going on. Again, knowledge. So they went out to do it on their own. After they did with us, they did fairly well, but if they wouldn't have fought, they would have made a lot more if some of them would have fought it. But with us, they did fairly well. Then on their own, it's a disaster. I'm being told about it on a daily basis. Disaster, right? And they can't wait. Can't wait. Now everybody from the charity can't wait to get with me to start planning the next one. I'm not going to say who this is. I'm excited about it too. So that's today's blog. It was a long video blog. It was a long one about who is this asshole. That's who I am. George Wooden, the paramedic of charity fundraising. Check out our website at www.bwunlimited.com. Give me a call, 443-206-6121, or email me at george@bwunlimited.com. Like us on Facebook and Instagram. We really appreciate all of you, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.